Hey, this is Ann with Doubting Believer and Social Media for Churches. Are you a church member who would like for more people to know about your church? Are you somebody who would like to be sharing the good news of the gospel and letting people know that they too can follow the living Lord Jesus Christ and they could do it with your particular church community? Would you like to be doing that, but you just don't know quite how to do it? Well, I'm going to help you with that E word, evangelism, and we're going to talk about how social media is a great outlet for that. Why social media ministry is crucial to your church's ministry and should be an integral part of it. So I'm going to tell you, one, why it's important, two, easy ways that you can engage in this ministry and how you can help amplify your church's message, and three, this is the harder one, how you can help make social media ministry a priority in your church. So let's talk about social media. The good, the bad, the ugly, there are lots of cons and bad things we can say about social media. However, I believe it also can be used as a tool for good, and it can certainly be used as a tool for ministry. As Christians, we are called to reach people with the good news of the gospel, and we are called to reach people where they are, and people are on their phones. If we sit around waiting for people to put their butts in our pews so that we can tell them about Jesus, that is not very effective ministry, effective evangelism, effective outreach. However, if we are on their phones, that is a much more effective way to reach people in this year of 2023 when I am making this video. So I want to talk mainly about Facebook today. All of the social media platforms are excellent places to do ministry, and depending on the makeup of your church and the people you're trying to reach, some may be better than others. However, right now, the majority of churches in the U.S. do have a Facebook presence, and it is the place where the most ministry is being done online. So that, I think, is a baseline for anybody who is doing social media ministry. You want to be on Facebook. The majority. There may be some exceptions to that, but I think for most of the people I'm talking to on this video, Facebook is your starting point. So, did you know that 50% of people 65 and over are on Facebook? So I don't want to hear this about, oh, we're an older church and we don't do social media. Not only do you probably do social media, or at least some of your members do, remember, social media is not just about connecting with the people who are already part of your community, it's also reaching out to new people. And the brilliant thing about social media is that it's both. It is a great way to keep your existing members connected outside of when they are in the church building, and it is a wonderful way to reach new people too. It is a both and. So, social media is a great way to reach your own people and people outside of your existing community, and if you are not engaged in social media ministry, you are missing a crucial part of your church's ministry. So one of the things I want you to start thinking about is that online community is real community. Often we think that you can only have community when you are present in person. Now let me say that I am an in-person church person. I am a church person all my life. I love community. I find God in community. I like to be in community in person. But if you don't think people are finding community online, you are sadly mistaken. And I'll tell you the first time I realized it. I have more than one friend who have children who have special needs, and they are special needs that aren't super rare, but they're rare enough that maybe nobody else in their community is dealing with the same thing. And the only way they have survived is that they have connected with other parents in other places whose child is suffering from the same conditions. They support each other, they encourage one another, they share information, they share research. And I really don't know if these friends of mine could have made it without that community. And that is a very real community. And people find community online all the time. So as we talk about social media ministry, I want you to go with the mindset and the understanding that online community can be real community. So here are some super easy ways that you can help boost, increase your church's visibility in the world of social media. So the first thing is when you're on your church's Facebook page. Again, I'm just going to talk about Facebook today just to keep this simple. When you are on your church's Facebook page, you can like things, but you need to go beyond that. When it comes to the algorithms, Now, the algorithms are these very amorphic, mysterious things that cause different posts to be pushed into people's feeds. And nobody quite understands how the algorithms work, and they change regularly. However, we do know this. One, when churches post on a regular basis, consistently every day, more people see it. And two, it is your comments and shares, not just liking, but you need to comment and share on your church's Facebook post to amplify it, meaning to make sure more people will see it. Now, if you don't know how to do that, I've got another video that's just the basics, and I will link to it at the bottom of this video so you can link to that. If you don't know what I'm talking about, if you don't know how to share, to comment, I can show you that as well. So don't just like, comment and share to show you care. I love things that rhyme. Comment and share to show you care and to boost the message of your church, the visibility of your church's message. So easy. And you don't have to write a full treatise. You don't even have to write a full sentence. You don't even have to write a word. You can just put an emoji, a thumbs up, a smiley face, clap hands, woo, touchdown, praise, however you want to view this. Yeah, just an emoji counts as a comment that helps amplify that post. So how easy is that? Make a point of going onto your church's Facebook page on the daily, put a little smiley face there in the comment section. There is no easier way to share the good news of the gospel than that. Why would you not do this? Why would you not do this? Why would you not do this? Okay, here's another thing you can do. Know your church's hashtag. Your church should have a hashtag. If it doesn't, have your pastor, your admin, whoever handles social media, get in touch with me immediately. But know your church's hashtag. Hashtag is really just a filing system so that when people click on that hashtag, they can bring up other posts that have also used that hashtag. It's used more in Instagram than on Facebook, but it also can be used on Facebook. So think of that as a filing system. Hashtag whatever your church is, and you need to find one that is unique to your church. Like, you can't be hashtag First Pres. You need to be hashtag First Pres NYBPC, something like that, that is unique to your church. So know your church's hashtag, and when you post about your church, maybe it's Easter and you have posted pictures of you and your kids or your grandkids at Easter, hashtag your church. So then if everybody has hashtagged your church, when someone clicks on it, they can pull up all the pictures that people have posted from your church on Easter Sunday and have hashtagged, and they can just get this whole big holistic view of what is happening at your church on Easter. So that is very cool. Also, you can tag your church's handle, and your church's handle is whatever your name is on Facebook. So it's that @ symbol, at First Pres Argenta, at NYCBPC. And when they click on that, they will go directly to the church's Facebook page. So 2 ways to tag your church when you post pictures, when you maybe post a quote from the sermon on your own Facebook page. Hashtag your church, tag your church so that people can learn more about the church. Again, super easy, super easy. Why would you not do this? You can do this. Now, let's get into a couple more things that you could do to help. A little more advanced, a little more time on your part. Are you a history buff? Do you know things about the history of your church? People love to learn things like this. So if you know great fun facts, as I like to call them, about the history of your church, send them to whoever does your social media, whether it's an admin, your pastor, a volunteer. Now, don't stop them after church and just tell them the story or tell them the fun fact. No, type it out, email it to them. Okay? Don't just tell them in passing. Type out your fun facts, send an email and say, hey, here are some fun facts about our church that I thought you might be able to use. And I guarantee you they can use them. There's a thing called Throwback Thursday, and it's always fun to post things that happened in the way back. People really like to learn things, and they like to learn new and interesting things about their church. So that is a great thing to do. Now, if you really want to step up your game, if you have been a member of this church for a long time and you have great stories to tell about this church, video telling these stories. Make a video. Ask whoever does social media if they want it in landscape or portrait, because they may have a preferred format, but ask them that first, and then just make some videos. and tell the stories and send them to whoever does your social media. And I guarantee that they can be used in your church website, they can be used online. So not only are these stories important to you and you want other people to know these stories, you want these stories to be handed down. People love to hear these stories. People who've only been at the church a few years, people who are interested in coming to the church, they love hearing these stories. So put them on video. You can do it with your phone. You don't have to be fancy, and you can send them to whoever does your social media. So those are easy things you can do. The easiest, comment and share. Hashtag and tag your church. Share fun facts about your church with the person who does your social media, and make videos telling stories about the church that people may not have heard. All pretty easy things to do. Now here comes the hard part. Making social media ministry a priority within your church. And that means, most likely, freeing up your pastor to spend more time doing social media ministry. In most churches, it is the pastor who does the majority of the social media ministry. Small churches, solo pastor. But even if you have a volunteer who's great at it, if you have an admin who does a great job with it, your pastor is going to still need to be involved in the planning, the implementing, the strategy of it all. This is a major ministry of your church. I want you to say it with me. Social media ministry is a major ministry of my church. This is not an afterthought. This is not a if we have time. This should be a priority. And that means your church may need to think about how you free up your pastor to do this. Okay, so I used to have a church member who would tell me that sometimes I stopped preaching and I got to meddling. So I'm gonna tell you, I'm about to get to meddling. Because when it comes to making social media ministry a priority of your overall ministry, you have to be working in a growth mindset. Meaning you have to be working in a mindset that our role as the church is to reach more people with the good news of Jesus Christ. That is your primary role as a community, to serve people, to reach people with the good news of Jesus Christ. It is not to take care of the people who are already there. Not that churches don't do that, but if that is your primary reason for being, to care for the people who are already inside the walls, you are not operating from a growth mindset. And you have to be in order to do social media ministry well. Because no matter who else does it, whether you have an admin, whether you have a volunteer, the pastor needs to be involved in the social media ministry. It is a major ministry of the church, which also means you may need to free up your pastor from other things. If one of your requirements for your pastor is still visiting people in their homes on a regular basis, you may need to let go of that. If you require your pastor to be at every committee meeting that ever happens, you may need to rethink how many of those meetings that the pastor really needs to be at. If you are requiring your pastor to be in the office a certain number of hours every week, and if that number of hours is a really large number, you are not operating in a growth mindset. You are operating in that mindset of let's take care of who's here, not let's reach people who aren't. So that is probably the hardest part of social media ministry. If you are not already in a growth mindset, if you're already in that growth mindset, it's very easy to prioritize social media ministry. If you are not, then it gets harder. But I would encourage you to work on being in that place if you want your church to be around for the long haul. I think social media ministry is one of our best tools that we have to reach new people and to embrace them and to invite them in. And know that that may not mean that they come and sit in our pews every Sunday, but that doesn't mean that they are not part of the community. Now, these people may not show up and put their butts in your pews, but remember, you can have real community online. And maybe your church community expands and it is the people who come and put their butts in your pews on Sunday morning. And I believe when we have a strong social media ministry presence, the number of those people will grow, but our community as a whole will grow to include those who connect with us online. So don't think of it as either or, it can be both and. We become a community of people who gather on Sunday morning, but who gather and connect with each other all week long online. And I think there is everything good about that and nothing bad about it. So I encourage you to be a force for good in your church's social media ministry. If nothing else, comment and share. Just that alone will make a huge difference. But if you want to be more involved, if you want to do more, to share the good news of the gospel with people out there, to let them know that they can follow the living Lord Jesus Christ with your particular group of believers, I invite you to engage in many different ways in using social media as a way to do so. Hey, thanks for watching. Be sure and subscribe to get more information about how you and your church can better utilize social media for your ministry.